If you're a coach, I can bet my bottom dollar that you've reached a point where you felt absolutely stuck, and maybe that point is right now. And let me tell you, it's not your content and it's not your niche, right? The problem is your pricing. Pricing is the problem. And after selling coaching packages for $97, for $2K, for $9K for just 1 month of coaching, right? Here's what I've learned. I've learned that price can quite literally dictate the success of your business, how you feel on a daily basis, and whether you win or lose, right? It's super, super important. This is a massive, I struggled with this for a long time, right? So I used to price based off what I felt was fair, right? I would basically look at the market, I'd look at what other coaches are charging, I'd compare myself, and I would basically copy their pricing, right? I'd copy their pricing. And what happened is I ended up burning out because I was either pricing too low and I was trying to go for volume that I didn't have, because I've only got I've only got a reasonable sized audience, right? And I basically blamed the market. I thought, I'm feeling burnt out. I'm feeling like I'm not getting the results I want. Maybe the market doesn't want coaching anymore. Maybe AI has, ruined our opportunity. And so, I was very frustrated. And my natural tendency is to just test everything. So I was like, okay, let's just test more. So I tested low ticket pricing, $97 to sort of like $300. And the problem with low ticket is that you need a lot of volume to make good money. So the problem is, if you don't have the volume, you're basically going to be making not a lot of money. And if you're relying on those clients and those customers to build your business, the real problem is that those clients are going to be low quality, right? There's a famous meme on the internet where it's like, I posted about this the other week, a $500 client is basically saying, yeah, I'll pay you next week, just having some cash flow problems. Is it cool if I pay you $97 now and the other the other $407 later? That's what you get with low ticket clients. And then the $5,000 client says paid, invoice paid, right? So the quality of your clients is very low and you need a lot of volume to make up the money, right? Now, if you compare that with high ticket, right? High ticket clients, not only do you only need one high ticket client to make, say, 5K, right? That's, if you were selling low ticket, say a $100 product, you need to sell 50 of those to make 5K. But one high ticket client is going to give you the same amount. So like, what's more effort? Or what's more effort? Getting 50 customers to pay you $100, or to get one person to pay you 5K? And here's what I've learned as well. High ticket clients not only obviously they pay more, so they're more valuable to you, but they value your services and your information and your coaching a lot more, which means they pay more attention, which means they get better results. So for me, this has been very, very apparent. My highest paying clients have always got the best results, always. And it's because they're just taking it more seriously. I also have the best relationship with them. And they're just always killers, because they understand they're not paying for my time. They're paying for a transformation, and they're paying for proximity to me. So high ticket it's the same amount of effort required. It's just different skill sets and different focuses, right? So if you're pricing wrong, you're going to end up like me, burnt out, testing everything, trying to figure out what's wrong. Is it my content? Is it this? Whereas if you just priced more aggressively and you went after people who are higher quality, because here's basically what I've learned, right? It doesn't matter what you price it, really, because there are customers at every single price point. What matters is how is your conviction in selling it. What matters is how much you believe in it. And let me tell you this, the value, if you're a coach right now, you haven't got into this by mistake. You have developed yourself to a level, whether that's your skill set or your experience or your personal, even just your personal frequency, right? You've figured some things out. You've been on a personal growth journey. Coaching, I was just chatting with a good friend of mine who's also a coach. He made 40K in 4 months of coaching. So that's pretty impressive, right? And he'd only just started with like a 2,000 person audience. But we're saying coaching really, you can only succeed in this game to the level that you develop yourself. It's a personal development game. So you're developing yourself more than, you've developed yourself to a certain level where what you have is valuable. Why are you only charging $100 for it? Why are you only charging $300 for it? Why are you staying in these low price brackets when what you have is so much more valuable than that? I was talking to another coach the other day. These chickens are freaking funny. Talking to another coach the other day, he was charging $500 a month for one-to-one coaching and his coaching platform and his community, right? That is absurd. Like, and what he doesn't realize is that the value that he brings to the table is worth a lot more than that, and that there's actually a customer at every single price point. I told him, you need to double your prices. And it was like a light bulb went off in his brain. He was like, actually, yeah, that makes sense. And here's why it makes sense, right? This is really the point of this video today. And this is the thing I want you to take away with you most importantly. You need to stop pricing based off what feels fair and what the market standard is, right? And you need to start pricing based off the value of the transformation you provide. What I mean is, I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, you're like my coach, my friend who's a coach, right? He teaches people how to build to systematize their home services company. His is particularly, he takes electricians or tradies and he helps them build systems that get them off site or get them off the job site and basically give them location freedom and time freedom, right? By building systems. Well, I said, how much money? He was charging $500 a month for one-to-one for a 6-month commitment, which is basically 3K, right? And I said, how much money did your business make when you figured out how to scale it and the thing you're teaching these guys? How much did it make you? And he said, oh, about 100K a month. I was like, okay, so 100K a month is the potential that they can earn from this, and you're charging them 3K, $500 a month. The transformation you're giving them, if we just look at it from a monetary perspective, is potentially 100K a month if they follow your instructions correctly and if your product's built the right way. That is the value of your transformation. Now you might be asking, okay, Dan, well maybe you sell something like a relationship offer. Okay, so let's say your offer is you help people get a girlfriend. How would you value that transformation, right? Because obviously it's not based off income. How much do I charge? I would say pretty much everything in life comes down to the mating principle. We want to find the perfect mate for us. So if your offer is, I'm going to help someone get a girlfriend, basically all the business stuff that they're doing, all the development they're doing is pointing towards getting a girlfriend. So when they're spending money on nice clothes, it's to get a girlfriend. When they're spending money on fitness and health and gym, that's to get a girlfriend, right? Maybe it is to be fit, maybe that's one of the benefits, but what you're gonna do is if you give them the cheat code and the shortcut to getting a girlfriend, you're gonna save them so much time, effort, and pain figuring it out that you're saving them a lot of money, but ultimately you're saving them time and you're saving them emotional pain. And basically you're making them a more confident version of themselves. That's priceless. So therefore, your transformation is priceless because you're helping them become someone completely new. So the chances are the value that you're offering is actually priceless. So then what does that mean? Where do we price it then? Because ultimately, you as an individual, you're getting paid for producing outcomes. You're not getting paid for your time anymore. We're way past that. That's why we productize ourselves. That's why my dominant idea and the name of my personal program is Productize Yourself, because we don't sell time, we sell outcomes, right? We're in the business of transformations. That's why we can charge basically what we want. And so what do I tell my clients, right? I'm gonna give you some source here, and I'm also gonna give you some permission. What do I tell my clients? I simplify it, because even with everything I've just told you, I hope you understand now, right? That you're pricing based off the value of the transformation, not your time. Time and outcome are completely separate. You can make one decision in your life that can completely change it, or you can spend your whole life working on something that does nothing, right? What I'm saying is, you can tell somebody to do one thing and their life can completely change, or you could spend 3 months with them every single day and nothing would change. You get paid based off your ability to create outcomes. So if our ability to produce transformations, the transformation that we're producing, helping these people achieve, is priceless, what do we still price it at? Well, the simple answer is whatever you want, but that's still too vague. So what I tell my clients is this: just price it at 2 to 6K. If you're just getting started in coaching, just price it at 2 to 6K. You can start at 2K and you can creep it up. That's what I tell my clients. Just price it at 2 to 6K. Why? Well, number one, I believe in pricing things. You should price aggressively, because there's a customer at every single price point. Yes, you might get less conversions if you price high. True. But when you do get a conversion, you could be making 10 times more from one client than if you got 10. You could be making 10 times more per client if you price aggressively. I did this when I had a client of mine who paid me 9K to live with him for 1 month. It was one of the best months of both our lives, I think, because it was just so transformative for both of us, but especially for him. Why did I charge 9K when I'd never charged that much before? I charged 9K because the value of the transformation was quite literally pointless. You're going to come and live like me. You need to solve a lot of internal problems right now. You're not disciplined. You don't know how to market yourself. You don't know how to build a personal brand. You don't know the routines that I've been able to build. I'm not just giving him, with that particular offer, right? I wasn't just giving him information. I was giving him proximity to me. I was giving him my energy. He was seeing the nuances in how I live. That's where the deepest transformation could be. So I was like, this is even more valuable than if I gave you information. And I'm going to live with you for one month, which means you're going to be getting a lot more of me. I decided to go with 9K. I priced aggressively. And my conviction in that is what made that sale happen. And we still work together today. So I say just price at first, and what I tell all my clients, price your program, because you might not be doing one-to-one. Let's talk about your online program. Price your online program at 2 to 6K. Don't lower the price and tweak your positioning and weaken your positioning to accommodate a lower price. Strengthen your positioning to match the price. Grow a pair of balls, set a higher price. Then your marketing and your positioning will follow that. I'm giving you permission. I'm telling you, I'm not just giving you permission. I'm saying this is the best thing you can do today. Don't overthink it. Just price it at 2 to 6K. Do that right now. Increase your prices to that. Watch what happens. For me, one of the biggest things, since I just said, all right, my program, which is what I want to bring people into because I've done so much one-to-one work, I want more leverage. I have my program, which is Productize Yourself. Somebody overheard me the other day talking about it. He turns around and he's a real estate investor, and he said, oh, I'm interested in packaging up my knowledge, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, how much is it? I just said 5K. That would have scared me in the past, but when I stopped overthinking it, I was like, this is the price. Guess what? He's got a lot of money to spend. 5K to him, he knows that that's a lot of money, but he can afford it. So what's happened when I changed my pricing and I upped my pricing, I changed my behavior, I value myself more. And then when somebody asks the price, I'm like, boom, there it is. No hesitation. That conviction sells. So now my positioning, I've raised my price, and naturally, all of my decisions are changing around me. My decisions are becoming that of someone who values themselves. I build a better team. I am now making more YouTube content. I am now able to effortlessly drop the price on someone and they say, yep, that sounds good, because conviction is everything. And now my positioning is based around someone who, my positioning matches my price. Everything follows price. You need to be aggressive with price. Who cares if they say, no, it wasn't aligned anyway? Value yourself more and watch what happens. I'm passionate about that, right? Don't lower your price and weaken your positioning. Strengthen your positioning to match your price. That's what I have to say today, all right? And listen, if you know you should be charging more, but don't know how to structure or position it, and you want to productize yourself, start selling something that's scalable, increase your prices, have more conviction in it, you just don't know how to do that, then you can apply to work with me below. There's a link down below to work. It's an application to work directly with me. And together we'll design, sell, and scale your 2 to 6K online program. We'll do that together. So you can scale to 10K plus months and beyond consistently, predictably, and beyond. So if you're interested in that, click that link down below. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Important video. Watch it again. Go and make those changes. And if you want my help to do so, there's a link down below to apply to work with me. I'd love to help you out. And like always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, my friend.